Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our Season 2 of Game of Thrones board game, Mother of Dragons expansion. So it's Season 2, Episode 1. It's the first turn. If you want to go back and see how we did the setup, lots of components here, lots of complexity, adding in the fourth deck, you guys can see below, adding in the Iron Bank and the Essos board, an extension to the influence track. I just positioned it off there. We also have these vassal tokens. We're going to play a 4-player game, but we'll start it out kind of like an 8-player game in the walkthrough, and we'll try to simulate in the later turns once some of the minor houses like Tyrell, Greyjoy, Arryn, and Martell. We'll try to simulate those using the vassal rules that come with Season 2. So we'll check those out a little in some future turns. So I think that those are a great, I don't know if you guys have played it. If you have, leave a comment below. Those are a great mechanism if you're playing a longer game with people and you want to swap out a player who maybe can't play. So you can just swap them into a vassal, or someone's tired of playing, they could just become a vassal, and it's really easy to keep going. You don't have to stop the game. So interesting rule, and a number of other components here that we'll explore throughout the turn, especially with House Targaryen. We've got the dragon strength counters, and we also have the mechanism of the Targaryen loyalty that comes out of the fourth deck. This is also going to wrap up our Game of Thrones month. We've played lots of Game of Thrones this month. We've done Season 1 of Game of Thrones board game. We've done Game of Thrones Risk, a couple of videos and Saturday night gameplay of Game of Thrones Clue, and this is our second jump into Game of Thrones using Mother of Dragons expansion. Just to give you guys a preview of next month, we're going to be doing a combo of kind of Halloween theme. So we'll be playing, again, new seasons of Eldritch Horror, Resident Evil 2, Cthulhu May Die, Death May Die, Cthulhu Wars, but I think the theme may be around Hastur, to kind of coincide with I've got these proof copies of Volume 1 and 2 of Giuseppe Balsamo's Disclosure from the Necronomicon fragment. It's sort of a continuation of August Moldenhauer's Catu Journals trilogy. So there's like a second trilogy that fits in with that. We're getting these proofread and proof copies are being reviewed, and we'll get those out to the public soon. So check these out. But because we've got Hastur, I'm thinking maybe Cthulhu Wars, Hastur with Nyarlathotep, and even throw in Azathoth for fun. Volume 3 of this set is actually the Alchemy of Azathoth, so timely. So we'll be doing the Halloween themes, back to Cthulhu, our favorite games, and then also another round into the Dune games. I have Dune Imperium on the way, and we've got Gale Force 9 Dune, so we'll be doing Dune Month. It's the big release of Dune, so we kind of have a Dune party. We also did some Evangelion in the other channel, Pontos Fathom Press. This month we had all Evangelion podcasts around Evangelion and psychology, and we do our model builds on Pontos Fathom Hobby. So check all that content out. Links below. Like and subscribe to help us out. Let's jump into turn 1 here. So we'll start out with our handy quick reference guide. We skipped the Westeros phase in phase 1. So no need to advance round marker, draw Westeros cards. We don't need to do that. We start out, the round marker is 1. So we're going to go right into the planning phase. So here we will kind of get... So for the planning phase, we'll go place the action tokens by the influence track for each of the houses. I'm going to go ahead and get these ready house by house and get all of the boards set up. I'll probably fast forward through this because I'm just learning the Mother of Dragons rules here, so give me some time. So let's go into the fast forwarding, and basically I'm placing the tokens for all the houses and getting it set up. So we'll see you in a moment once I get all of these placed, and we'll jump right into the reveal phase. Okay, planning phase tokens are placed. Gave the quick summary there. So let's jump into uh, our reveal orders. So reveal orders, we reveal everything. So we can just turn all these up, and then we'll go into our action phase. One of the things that's different with this Mothers of Expansion is that the Essos board is across the way here, but also the fact that there are now dragon tokens. So we'll have those dragons be somewhat conservative at first because the dragon strength is low. So just like in Game of Thrones, Daenerys' dragons start out as tiny little cute dragons that sat on her shoulder and things like that, and then they grew into the most powerful war machine kind of component of the game, and I mean sorry of the Song of Ice and Fire, let's say, and almost undefeatable until, as you guys know, there were defeats. So let's get all of these revealed, and then we can go to the advanced wilding track, if applicable. So in this round, no wilding track advancement needs to happen because we did not turn any wilding cards over. So, oh, sorry, yeah, that was Wester's phase. We reveal the orders, and we can use the Raven optionally. So right now oh yeah, one thing is just to, I guess I'll leave the houses as they are. I'll play them as characters now, and I'll revert them over to vassals later in the game. So let's just keep the influence track as it is. Right now, the Raven sits with Lannister. So the Raven will be used by Lannister. So we can just turn the Raven over here, and that will allow us to take a look at the top card of the deck. Let me get these fixed here. Reshuffle them. Okay, we take a look at the top card, and it says Wilding Victory, Night Watch Victory. About the highest bid with a strength of 6, else nothing happens. Lowest bidder destroys 2 of his units. Okay, we'll leave that one there. That one seems good. Lannister will always repay their debts, so they can just bid high, so they know. Lannister knows that that's coming later. So, okay, so that's the end of planning phase. We can move now into the action phase. So let's start out with resolving raid orders. So first of all, let's go through and look for raid orders that we can resolve. So one of them is here, nothing to resolve. There is no ship. The ship has a movement. That does not get resolved, so we just remove this raid order. Goes back to Lannister. There is a raid order in the bite, and a raid order here. I believe that these orders will cancel each other, as will this raid order, right? These raid orders all cancel each other in a way. So these can all come off. All the raiding is self-annihilating. There is this raid order against the defense here, so we can strip that one out. That raid order, it goes. And no raid, oh, there is a raid order here as well, which raids in to, if we connect it across, oh no, it's not, it's in the next thing. There's nothing in this actual space, so this raid order is also null. So I thought that could connect to Dragonstone, but no. So raid orders have been resolved. Let's now move into march orders and any combat that results. So with march orders, we can start with Iron Throne order. So we start out with House Baratheon. They have a march order. They just have the one march order. Oh, and this is, they don't have, oh, that got raided away. Their march order, they will not take it because their ships did not move down. So Baratheon is done with their march orders. Next in line is House Lannister. Lannister will look at their march orders. They have a march order here, and I think they're planning to move into Harrenhal. So they will move into Harrenhal. They will leave behind a unit and a token in River Run, and move into Harrenhal to help them advance there. And this token gets replaced. Next is any other ones? No other march orders. No other combat for this can be resolved as well. So Lannister is done. Next up is House Stark. Now in this version of House Stark, I believe we're playing the period where the Boltons are actually in Winterfell. So they are kind of like the bad guys right now. Like, Sansa, I believe, is in with House Lannister, I think, in the card deck. And Jon Snow actually is in House Baratheon with Stannis, that whole period when Jon Snow was with Stannis. So that's sort of how this is oriented right now. So we're kind of in that middle time when Essos was rising up a bit and Boltons have taken. So I think we actually have Reek in here as part of House Stark, I want to say. We can check the cards in, but as we start playing the card decks in combats, we'll show you the characters that are in here. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, so next is House Stark. They do have a marching order here, and I'm not sure if they'll take it or just remain in White Harbor, but they can actually use the march order to come down to the Fingers. They can leave a token here in White Harbor that claims it, and now they actually can claim the Fingers, which if there's a reckoning for supplies, they can move up the supply chain. So let's see if they do that, and that will help them potentially buy some more units. And then they also have a march order here. So I believe it looks like they will go into the Mountains of the Moon and combat here. So let's see how this plays out. So they have a +1. They have a +1. It's up against a knight. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be combat here. So combat between these. And let's take a look at the characters now. So we do get to look at our character cards. So I'll pull out Stark, and I'll pull out Aaron's cards here. So let's take a look at who Stark will throw into the mix here. So we got Rouse Bolton, Ramsay Bolton, Steel Shanks, Black Walder, Walder Fry, and Reek. Crazy, right? Rouse Bolton. Maybe we'll use Rouse Bolton in this one, just because we're behind one, and let's just go for the overkill. So House Stark will take Rouse Bolton, and then for their defensive move, let's have them do Jan Royce. Looks kind of cool. He's got a 3 as well. So Jan Royce, and we can let the cards fall as they may. I didn't really do the calculation. I'm just kind of being purposefully kind of ignorant from moment to moment. So yeah, so it helps to not be a detail guy when you're playing multiple player game by yourself, because then you can just still be surprised. So you guys probably have already figured out the combat math, but let's go through it. So for the combat calculation, we have a +1 on the attack. I mean Stark, because I'm saying we because I'm on Stark's turn. So Stark's has +1 for attack and 2. So just checking the rule here. So 1, 2, 3. We can reveal this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, so I guess it is a tie. But there is a there are this fortification. Sword icons is ignored. So this sword icon is actually ignored for each fortification. And is there anyone who has no, nobody has the iron sword. So resolving the combat, they get 2 additional fortifications. Okay, so they get to remove this sword token, but they get the sword token, so one of theirs will be actually destroyed. So one of these will be destroyed. So in the end, there's no resolution here. This is destroyed, and for the tie, the highest position, Stark wins the battle, and these have to retreat. So we'll have them retreat back to, so we'll have them retreat back to here and here for the purposes of armies. Stark can advance here, but Stark loses because of the defense, because of the battle terms. So I think that's how we'll resolve that. Guys, let me know. And great, so we've resolved our first combat, and we can put these as discards. Return this token. Put House Stark back. Okay, great. So that means we can resolve this fortify can be moved now. And great, that's House Stark. Let's go to House Baratheon now. Yeah, we've already done that. So this one is also removed. Baratheon's been moved. Next one is House Martell. So Martell also has a motion which they do not need to take. They have a defense and a defense, so they're actually clear for this. I could have them move this Sun Spear, one of these, into maybe they can consolidate these two, and then they can move from the sea across for an attack. So let's give them that angle. And then finally, House Tyrell also can move the ships. I'll have them move 1 and 1. So now they have an attack chain forward for our next round. So they're potentially able to move and attack next round. And I believe that just leaves House Targaryen. And House Targaryen will go... House Targaryen has a defense, but they also have this attack. They will move to Braavos with the 2. For some reason, I gave them the -1 piece, right? So that was just an oversight, I believe. So okay, so they're up against a 5, and they can, right? They will move with the +1. That was just a mistake. So House Targaryen goes against Braavos with a 5, and their total combine here is 3 + 1, 4, and they also can get the support from the neighboring +1. So that gives them 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are able to take, and Braavos has a -1, so they're able to take the Braavos. So now Braavos becomes Targaryen. So we can resolve this, this, and this. And that is the end of the combat and motion phases. I believe that is everyone. And finally, we're just going to resolve the Consolidate Power round. So Consolidate Power, that gives, we'll go in order again. House Baratheon has 1, 2. So they get 2 for House Baratheon. House Baratheon gets 2. House Lannister gets 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Baratheon gets 4. Actually, we have to give. Sorry, I have to adjust Baratheon here. Okay, and then next up is House Stark. They get 1. 1 only. 1 only. Right, and they get 1 only from this. Yeah. Okay, and then so 1 for House Stark. And next up is House Martell. They do not have a consolidate. And then finally there is Dornish Marches has the 1. Okay, that's for House Tyrell. House Lannister 2. Yeah, we got those other 2 as well. House Lannister. And then finally Greyjoy 2. And House Targaryen 1, 2. Okay, House Targaryen also 2. Okay, and that is the Resolve Consolidate Power Orders. We will clean up the board as the end of action phase, and that's going to wrap up turn 1. We'll see you all in turn 2. The link will be over here. I'll clean up the board, move the token forward, and we can get into our Westeros phase for the first time. And we'll talk to everyone on turn 2. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.